Good morning for those of you who are watching this when I'm filming this, which is in the morning, which I could say is it's Corona why my hair is all afraid, but it's not. It's because I woke up an hour ago and I just, haven't fully gotten ready, but that's okay. This is the April recap of what has been happening in my month. I hope you guys see how smart I am by looking at that bookshelf. Technically, I graduated from Kennesaw State. There's a Kennesaw State flag in the, I keep on pointing to the wrong place, the Kennesaw State flag in the back. And oh, you can even see my son in the background over there. Oh, that is so cute. That was when he did baseball a couple of seasons ago. And I was the coach, and I know nothing about baseball. I do, you hit a ball that flies up, and there's home runs and grand salamis. But yes, sorry, April recap. Let's dive right into it. So it was an interesting month. Forget the fact that it was Corona. Obviously that happened. But for me, it was a really interesting month, and it was one that I really enjoyed because it was one, as my wife and I were having tons of conversations, and even a pastor who gave a sermon one Sunday, online, obviously, and it all came around this fact of slowing down. I think everyone and their mother is seeing how great it is to slow down in a lot of aspects. Obviously, the economy needs to pick back up. We're not going to talk about that. We're talking about you and me personally slowing down because we don't need to be going gung-ho 90 miles per hour when the speed limit's 60. We should probably slow down to 60 and see how we can live in that pace contently. And one of the things that I realized is that I was just going. I was going for the next thing. I was going for the next opportunity, and really, instead of really diving into relationships. And this phrase started to pop up in my mind, and it was deeper, not further. Deeper, not further. And it's the concept of, dang, Paul, you're really striving for opportunities, even though you're saying you want relationships. And it's not something that I wanted to live by and live into. And so that phrase just kept on coming into my mind, is deeper, not further. I don't want to chase the next thing, the next opportunity. I don't want to post another thing on LinkedIn just to post something on LinkedIn. I don't want to have a conversation about, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm trying for. I'm going to write a book by the end of this year, and I'm going to do a class, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I was constantly striving for the next thing. I was constantly trying to go further instead of deeper into the relationships that I've already been blessed with, and deeper into my job that I've been blessed with. And it's not the fact that I don't see myself possibly moving to somewhere else. That could definitely happen. I'm not saying I'm here where I am for 30 years because that's where I'll have to be. It's no, I want to serve the junk out of the place where I am. And if that is for the next 30 years, that's great. But if it leads to another opportunity, that's awesome as well. So it's this concept of deeper, not further. I really want to challenge you as well in this, to go deeper, not further. Don't just strive for the next opportunity, but go deeper in the relationships that you've been blessed with today. One of the things that I've done in doing that is writing letters. I've written more letters, I've made more calls, I've sent more text, I've sent more video messages than I've ever have in the past. And it's to certain, there's a group of guys in the logistics industry that that I've partnered up with, that I've really banded together with. In fact, one of them is going to be having a baby in a couple months. Due date is my daughter's birthday. We'll see if that really comes to fruition. But just banding together around each other and seeing how we can best help. And I stinking love that. And so I've gone deeper in those relationships. I've gone deeper into the relationships with the guys that I know from church and with people in my neighborhood. And this, I watched this one video done by Matt Canlis, who's a priest out in Washington. And it's this concept of really deepening your roots into your community. So it's deeper, not further. Deepen my roots where I am, not just with the relationships, but my roots in the community. I'm a part of a neighborhood of 600 homes. I want to deepen my roots and tend those roots in this neighborhood of 600. My in-laws have a cabin up in LJ, Georgia. I want to deepen my roots into that community. I get the opportunity to speak probably about once a quarter at my friend's church up there. I want to deepen my roots in that community. Deeper, not further. Deeper, not further. But this was coming at a price because I wanted to. I felt like I had to create content, create videos, create something. I needed to post, But as I took a step back, I realized I wasn't actually craving posting anything. And I was super fortunate this past month in April to talk to the man, myth, and freaking yellow legend himself, Jesse Cole, owner of the Savannah Bananas. And it was an epic conversation. I loved it. And you know what? We did a Zoom video call. And not only was he wearing the top of the yellow suit, but he stood up and showed me that his yellow banana pants for his suit were on. And but it was a great call. And my big takeaway from that was, as I was explaining this deeper, not further, and just kind of telling him where I was, he's like, then just don't do it. If you don't want to post anything, then just don't do it. And that little bit of encouragement was the impetus to help me really dive deep into this deeper, not further. And even listening to him saying, man, I've written thank you cards and sent video messages and all of that and made phone calls to deepen those relationships. It's those relationships that have led him to some amazing opportunities to where he is today. And I don't want to deepen those relationships to get to the next opportunity. I want to deepen those relationships because I care about the other person, and I want to stop talking and showing you what I know and start listening and seeing how I can best serve. I may not know anything about anything, but of what you're dealing or going through, but I want to listen. I want to be a listening ear. I want to serve. And I want to make myself available to those opportunities by going deeper, not further. So I had that epic conversation, and that encouragement to just not do it has helped me not post anything on LinkedIn really for about 2.5 weeks as of the date of this video, and it's May 8th. So I know we're talking about April, a little bit into May, but it's May 8th, and I haven't posted anything on LinkedIn in about 2.5 weeks. My mailing list, I sent out an email when I first was going through this deeper, not further, and I haven't sent anything on my mailing list, and I feel so freaking free. It's amazing. Woo, love it. Seriously, I really love it. But deeper, not further, with family and friends. And so one of the last ideas that came up through listening to the podcast around this is you get to tell what is important in your life by measuring two things, your wallet and your calendar. You measure what is important in your life by two things, your wallet and your calendar. And I've said for the longest time that my family is important, but when I look at that calendar that's in the very back, I didn't see many dates for the family. And I said my community is most important. I didn't really see my local community on that calendar right there. And so it was this real gut punch to say, hey, if you really want to go deeper in those relationships, start adding things to your calendar, start spending money towards those things that you say that are most important. And that is exactly what I have done. I've gone deeper, not further. I've had some great conversations with some folks, deeper than I would have ever gone. And I love it because even if it's 5 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour conversation, I'm not worried about the time. I'm just there to listen, to love, and to potentially and hopefully serve. So yeah, April has been great. Learning how to go deeper, not further. Learning how to let go of this desire to create something, which is a waste. Instead, what I'm craving is going on an adventure with my family to this local place and climbing the ruins, as we call them. That's what I'm craving. I'm craving being adventurous with my family. I'm craving cooking for my family and dirtying my hands doing projects. Speaking of projects, in April, I freaking stained my deck. And it was a bigger project than what I thought it was going to be, but I stained my deck and it looks great and it looks awesome. What are you doing around your house? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below. That'd be super awesome for you to fill me in on what you're doing around your house and in your world. Or drop me a line at paulstipic@gmail.com, paulstipich@gmail.com. There you are, of what you are doing and what you are going through, what projects are up your sleeve and you're completing. And so that's it. That's the April recap. Deeper, not further. That's really the mindset that has been rolling through hard. And there's been a few stories here and there, but letting go, there's been massive freedom. And I want to end on this one verse because it's really shifted my thinking. It's John 10:10. It's not the first part, which a lot of people know, the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but it's this second part in John 10:10. This is Jesus speaking to his disciples, and really this group of people. It says, John 10:10, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. Jesus gives us an abundant life, but even take that as, Paul, I'm not a religious person, I don't believe in Christ, or I don't believe in Jesus, but I believe in Muhammad, I believe in Allah, or whatever it is that you believe, and forgive me if I just spoke against your religion, but we have an abundant life, even though it may not seem like it. We have an incredibly abundant life, especially here in America. I don't know, there's an ungodly amount of people that are, that don't have a job, and that pains me, and I hate that, and I hate the economy is going that way. I'm incredibly optimistic, so I think it's going to turn around, hopefully sooner than later. but we really do have an abundant life. And that may not be reflected in your checkbook, and that may not be reflected in your job. It's not reflected in my checkbook. But you know what? I'm fortunate where I have a house, where I have a family, where I have a job that is salaried and it's deemed an essential a job. So yeah, that's just been a thought that has been doing there is God literally show me my abundance and let me not worry about my checkbook. Let me not worry about all the things that I have to do around my house, but let me start beholding your beauty that you have shown me and that you've given me that's around where I am. And say that word behold, to really take a catalog of what is around you and the beauty that you are in the midst of. The thing I love about that word that I'm really starting to learn is the fact that to behold something, you have to slow down and give time to actually looking, seeing, listening to what is in front of you. So let me encourage you with those few things for this month of April, to behold the beauty around you by slowing down and go deeper, not further. I hope you are doing fantastic and super well, and I cannot wait to talk about May because there's something that's already happened at the beginning of the month that is huge, and I think it is going to be incredibly impactful for you because it's been so good for me. But again, thank you so much for listening to this. If you did, awesome. I hope you're having a great, fantastic time, as good as you can in this Corona world. But we'll talk to you and see you in May. Bye.